Alright, you guys, J-Dub is back, and today we're going to review Fast 5. And one thing I gotta say about this movie is fucking awesome, man. Alright, so the story begins with Dominic Toretto, Mia, and Brian. I believe his name was Brian. In court. Toretto's getting 25 to life in prison for the crimes he's done over the course of the 3 movies. The 4 movies. Well, yeah, whatever. The story around Fast and the Furious is so confusing. I'm like, what the hell? But I mainly say 3 movies because the first one and Fast and Furious. So, once he's sentenced, they're on a prison bus, and Mia and Brian and a couple of their other friends go and break him out. And they break him out of the bus. In the most unbelievable way possible, but again, you have to suspend your mind in this movie, so just so you know. And certain scenes. Everything else is pretty good. So after that, they get to, I'm just going to skip straight ahead a little bit because most of it is kind of spoiler related. So after a couple of shenanigans later, because don't want to spoil any other stuff, they're trying to plan this final job, which we think is going to be their final job, but we all know it's not. Their final job, so they can go and be free from the outlaw, basically. Police, whatever. Caught me in Tyrese there for a minute. So, in order, they're going to try and rob this the biggest, baddest dude in Rio. So, what happens is they have to call every other person. That means Tyrese, Ludacris, those 2 Mexican dudes from the last film that kept arguing every time in the car, and some hot unknown chick I haven't seen before. If I did, I don't know. And then the Asian dude from Tokyo Drift. And they thought it was gonna be easy. All they had to do, they set everything up perfectly to rob these cars. So they tailed them. But what they didn't realize is the guy that did something to them and then they try and get back at knows what's going on. So he's shipping the money from one spot all the way over to the police station. So they can't really get to it. Now, that makes the job even more harder. Even more than that, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is after him. After a little chase scene earlier on in the film, and a bunch of, I guess Puerto Ricans, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what they call them in Rio. But, yeah. And, oh, by the way, Rock is badass in this motherfucker. This motherfucker is badass, man. He took down 2 guys single-handedly, and they were armed to the kill. No, 3 guys. Because I forgot, he blasted one. That motherfucker was bad. Okay. And, how you say? Damn. I'm getting my own stuff confused up for a minute. Okay. So, he's after them, too. So, he's tracking them. Don't ask me how, because I kind of got confused for a minute. I think he put a tracker on something. And then, Toretto and the team tries to set them up for a minute just to have some night out so they can figure out how they were tracking him. And then that way, Ludacris can do something while they're over there having their conversations. So, everything goes according to plan. So, yeah, the deal kind of falls flat a little bit because, again, you will have to suspend your mind. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, yeah, because you know what you're gonna be getting into. It's a Fast and the Furious movie, for crying out loud. Suspend your mind for a minute. So once they it eventually robs the guy, they gotta figure out how to crack the safe open. So what they do is they order another safe from somewhere unknown. That looks is an exact replica of the one they're trying to break into, and Ludacris is the mind behind trying to crack that thing. So he's got to figure out how to bust this thing open. And they eventually do it. Not gonna tell you how, but they eventually do it. So then once they do, what they do is they pull a 180 on you. It's a twist that you don't see coming. Well, you kind of do, but you kind of don't want to believe that until you see it. So once they get the safe out of the police station, thanks to The Rock, well, because they got ambushed earlier when The Rock arrested Toretto and them earlier on. Like I said, didn't want to spoil that part of what happened and why they got caught, but yeah, they got ambushed a couple of minutes before that. And so The Rock eventually joined forces with them for about a couple of minutes to help them out, and then help kill the bad guy, who I forgot his name, that set them and The Rock up. So yeah, once they get the safe, they get the cars into the police station. They strap on these steel cables and literally pull the safe out of not the closet, the wall. My fault, y'all. I'm off my game today. That movie is so fucking good. It's ridiculous. Push the safe out the wall, and then they're on the streets of Rio with the damn safe, being chased by I'm just gonna call him the mob dude. The mob dude's gang of police. This guy is so bad, the police are on his damn side. So that just shows you what they into. And then the Asian dude in Tyrese comes in and helps them get rid of some of the cops. But we don't see that. We don't see what happens in between that. They'll go back to that later. And once they eventually leaves and gets to the Rio State, I guess, bridge, Vin Diesel kind of says, "You know what, Brian? You're needed more than me. You need to go and be with Mia. Okay, I'll stay behind and hold them off." Mia and Brian try and convince him, like, no, don't do it. No. So he disables Brian's cable, and Brian drives off, and he goes after the cops that are chasing him with the safe still attached to the back of his car. And what he does is zigzag across the road so that safe can literally bash the cops off or onto the bridge. That was pretty genius right there. Again, 2 cars pulling a safe. Yeah. So once that's all said and done, he crashes into the bad guy's car. So yeah, and whoop-de-dip-de-dip-de-dip-dip, they off and they go save the day, and then they get the money, and then they go back home, not home, but you know where they gonna be, and then they plan what they're gonna do next. And then him and Brian wants to finish that damn race between them and they had in the first movie. So Vin Diesel's like, "Are you sure about this?" He's like, "Yep." So the 2 new rides they got, they're gonna set up for a race, which leads off into Fast 6. So if I had to give this movie anything, it's gonna be a 4.5 out of 5, 4.5, because of course the some of the unbelievability of most of what's going on in this movie. But if you're down for a good movie, this is the good movie to go see right here. If you're down for just a good popcorn flick, a date movie, this is the one you gotta go to. Go see this movie. It is very good. From all 5 of them, this one and the first one are the 2 best ones right now. After Fast and Furious, that movie was terrible, but Fast 5 shows you how good you can make a sequel. Well, that's oh, and I saw this in IMAX. This IMAX theater I went to is crystal clear than the one I've been usually going to. This one is like an HD screen. I'm pretty sure it probably is, because it looks like it. There's not a speck, a little. You know how you watch a film, you see that little grain of film popping in? Ain't none of that in here. Nah, man, this is good shit. Go see it in IMAX. It's worth the money. Trust me. All the car crashes, the loud noises, the shooting. Come on. Alright, you guys. I'm J-Dub. I am out. Peace.